Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to behind the scenes of the sequel of 108 Days. Sound is working. I can't believe I'm doing this again, honestly. I feel super weird to be back, feels super strange. The nervous system is really feeling the live element. I decided to do this maybe a month ago now, and I declared it. And then it was like my body reversed it. I could feel that it's very, very important process for me. And I'm doing this for myself first. And I can feel that I'm ready for the next layer. But I haven't been ready. But I promised myself at the end of the other 108 days that I was going to trust my body fully, and I'm going to be 100% led from the God within and trust myself 1,000,000%, and really pay attention to how that affects me in terms of people pleasing, in terms of what I've decided that I was going to do, the agreements that I've made with myself. You know, we're always allowed to change. We're supposed to change. We're supposed to evolve. And with new information and new insights and new wisdom, we are supposed to, integrate and align and adjust. It's like life is this constant evolution and this journey, this path that we learn things every day. And then it's like we are our own creation. So I am my own creation. And I left my home country almost a decade ago in on the quest to find myself and to find this higher potential that I always felt is existing inside of me. So on this journey, I'm getting closer and closer to myself, and I realize that a lot of the structures that are implemented in society is not very beneficial to all humans. We are differently designed, different people, and I think a lot of the female energetics. What I'm finding is that I need much, much more spontaneity. I need to be much, much more self-led and self-controlled. My being doesn't like to follow structures all the time, like repetitive. And as I'm going deeper into the different aspects of the feminine and the masculine, I realized that as a woman, I've been living as a man. It's like I've been living society, but I've been taking on the responsibilities. It's like the energy. I've been carrying the energetics of the masculine. And the deeper I go within myself, I realize that I'm looking for this deep level of freedom. There's a very, very deep sense of liberation that I'm looking for, that I know is inside of me. And I'm not looking to fix this in an external way. My thesis is that when I install a state, it's like when my body returns. So that's why I use the 7 pillars, and I send from above, because we have to lead with truth and intention. So, and then as I'm descending into my body, it's like I'm readjusting. And as I'm readjusting, the further down I go, it's like I return to myself. I realize, this is the remembrance that I have been just knowing inside of me that I can find. So I've been here in Thailand now for 9 years. It's actually, so I came 1 year before Simba. And then we left together on the Swedish National Day, June 6th. So June 6th, it's June 9 now. So June 6th, it was 8 years ago, Simba came, and I came 1 year before that. So for 9 years, I have been determined to find a place within myself. So I'm not looking externally, I'm looking for a place within myself where I have complete balance, where I know myself 1,000%, that it's my truth and only my truth, and that I live in harmony with why I'm here and in harmony with my body. And as I am accessing the deeper layers of my body, I realize that my thesis, it's like I'm being confirmed as I go. So I'm finding this place inside of me where it's permanent. The clarity is permanent. The grounding is permanent. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to be regulated all the time, but when you know how to regulate yourself back, you are permanently grounded, because we are supposed to get ungrounded. Life, we're supposed to participate fully in life. I'm going to speak that as my truth. I want to participate fully in life, and I want to have my full vitality, my full ability to be myself. I don't want any belief systems that are not true. I don't want to be affected by my past experiences. I don't want to live with a veil of fear or a veil of illusion. I want to lean in fully to my purpose with my whole being, with no fear. And I want to have access to everything that is mine. And it is mine because God gave it to me through my body. So I believe that the body is the most beautiful gift that God can give us, because it's the map, it's the vehicle, it's everything is inside, and as within as without. So, and when you start to go deeper into how this place works, how the body works, how the earth works, or the planet works, and the atmosphere, and when you start to look into these things, you start to realize that it's the same patterns and the same processes that is duplicated, or they are mirrored in different ways everywhere. So you start to see the patterns, and you start to realize how things works. And after a while, you kind of get the gist of it. And where was I going with that? Here comes the blackouts again. So I'm a little bit nervous about this. I'm a little bit, I can feel the stress. I'm going to speak to that in a minute, but it's the process. Yeah, anyway. So the creative process, segue. The creative process is a very particular process, and it's not always comfortable. And that's why I'm a little bit stressed. That's why there's a bit of pressure, because after I decided that I was going to do this, I'm also starting to merge into a completely new timeline where I don't recognize things in the same way as I used to. And it's just another layer of the unknown, and I'm going deeper into my spine and my stomach and the mind and the head, and to really clear along the spine. So I'm starting to do that. So I'm starting to access states inside of myself that are clearing some of the deeper layers. And in that space, I don't feel super comfortable. So Um, Doing another 108 days from that space has turned out to be a very interesting process that is forcing me to really just trust myself and really put myself first. And as I'm accessing the deeper layers, I can also see that it's a deeper layer of receiving that I'm starting to activate. And that is directly connected to taking care of myself and nurture. So my body is asking for a very particular depth of nurture, which forces me into a deeper level of nervous system. I can access a more regulated state in the system, and I can also access a new part of a freeze layer that I remember since I was a child. So from this space, my body didn't want to go live at all, actually. It was just like this. So I've been battling this internal pressure of, okay, I said I was going to begin beginning of June, and then I want to begin June 1st. So I'm seeing how the mind and the pressure from, I'm just going to say society, like the social construct, how things are supposed to be, the should energy. So I haven't been able to access this whole project has just started to grow into this whole thing, and it started to, because I'm entering a new level of myself, the dimensionality of it all started to become a bit complex. So I was thinking, I need to go live, I need to start, I need to begin, while my body was just like, okay, we're going to go into this new type of process here. And this is actually the creative process where my body is preparing for what's to come, but I'm not. It's like a rapid pregnancy. It's like the process starts. There's some sort of injection. Oh, love my analogies. And then it's like the birthing starts, and it really starts in the belly. And then I start to feel constipated and pregnant and like this, and it's very unpleasant because there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of there's all the fear. So the body is in this creative process, and then the human, it's like the divine is summoning something like this, and then the human goes, no, I don't want to do this, oh please, abort, can I maybe maybe I should do something else, and all the questioning, and that's I love clarity, so that's a highly uncomfortable place, and the body feels just super, I just don't feel good. And then a couple of other things happened that just made me spiral down that path a little bit deeper, and I think that was only to allow myself to really put myself first. So this is the type of nurture, this there's a part of me that is just no longer having it's like my body is saying, okay, we are 48 now, and you've been prioritizing everything else, even during your 8-year healing journey, you've been prioritizing others. So it's time for that to change. So I'm going into deeper layers of the body and really allowing that to lead to that is God's command towards me to put myself first. And I can feel my body is responding. And when I give to myself, then the body responds with creativity and feeding into my purpose. So I can really see how everything is connected. So at some point I will speak about the creative process in itself, because that's a very interesting thing. But today I could feel like, okay, there's this behind the scenes concept coming out, because the first 108 days I had to exercise my voice. I had to take all the space I wanted, take all the time that I needed. I tried to make it time constrained in the beginning, not possible this time, that time, absolutely impossible. And this time I feel like the concept will be entirely different. And I could feel, my idea was that I was going to start with practice number 1, day 1. But I realized that my personal process is a part of the real process. However, the practices and the personal process and the teachings are not going to be in the same format. So that's why there's this behind the scenes concept. So my personal process is going to happen behind the scenes, because the main product is the 108 days of the practice. So it's going to be 100% practical. We're going to dive into the spine, the stomach, and the mind, the silence. Dunk, dunk, dunk. That was not correct at all. It's mind, stomach, and then spine. And so I'm going to do 20-minute practices. Maybe they will be 30, we will see. But I will try to keep them short, contained. So I'm stepping into a slightly more organized. So I'm letting myself go completely into the feminine, so I become completely free. And then from there, I slowly start to adjust and control my own energies based on what it is that I want to do. So I want 108 days of consecutive spine, stomach, and silence, because I'm going to take myself to the next level. So that's why I'm doing this. And then I wanted to take myself, my creativity, my creative energy, and my level of capacity to the next level as well. So now I am putting the pressure up a notch on myself, because I'm not really a somatic coach. That's never been my thing. I was never going to be a somatic coach. I'm more of a mentor and unlocking you on other levels. And I can just identify energetics, and I know how to dissolve them. So it's like I'm your lamp with everything that is going on in your life, and say, okay, we organize that there. It's like that. However, I need the somatic practices, and I have a gazillion different somatic practices, certifications, and whatnot. And I am practicing the internal alchemy that is our, like, Simba's and mine. That is the result of these 10 years. So I realized that, okay, I'm going to host somatic practices, not because I work with somatics, but it's the next level of evolution for me to do that in front of everyone. So this is first and foremost a personal growth process. And I believe that this personal growth process is the key to any type of freedom that you want. More of that in the teachings. And so this is I'm not doing this because I am a somatic coach. I do this because it works. And I do this because this is what God wants me to do. This is my gift, or his gift, to humanity. And this is my way of putting myself under a specific type of pressure so that I will grow into the next evolution of being that I know that I am becoming. So Simba works with trauma, I work with energy. I work with capacity, I work with growth. The human organism grows under stress. So I am not, Simba is trauma. I don't know if you can say trauma informed, because he is just, that is what he does. So he is a million levels trauma informed, and he works with the trauma. So he respects the trauma a lot. What I do, so he works with like post-traumatic stress. I work with post-traumatic growth. So what I do is triggering the being into growing. But if you have a lot of undealt trauma or unprocessed events or memories in the nervous system, that will come to the surface, because that's the idea. So I will do disclaimers and such also, because I'm not saying I'm more advanced, but I use triggering as growth. So if you don't want to get triggered, then this is completely the wrong space, because you will get triggered, and that's the point, because that's how you learn. So I lost myself again. This is what I was working with a lot during the first 108 days. So I see that I still have some of this still here. Okay, so the practices is going to be about 20 minutes. So that's going to be the foundation of this, because I want you to have access to this, because it's so powerful. Now, this is only 20 minutes, but you will get the gist of it, and you will get an experience from it, because my intention is very, very strong. My field is very strong. My ability to alchemize is very strong. So people who are working close proximity with me are starting to have very fast processes, which is extraordinary, because I'm attracting also people who are similar as me. And as I stated in the 108 days, this is to also for me to find my people. I want to grow, expand, and I want to be close to my purpose. And when we have unlocked the 7 pillars and we are speaking from our absolute truth and our absolute core frequency, then you will automatically start to attract the people who are supposed to be here. So I know that my being has been absolutely laser focused on becoming free. This has been my core driving force since as long as I can remember. And I know that there are other people. I assume that I will mostly work with women, but I'm realizing that men is also going to do this, but not from the feminine, but the spine, the mind, the stomach. So there's no rules here. I just happen to be a woman in this lifetime, and I have access to I'm clearing up all of this now. So the focus will be on the spine, because that is the number one key intelligence of the body. That is, we have to be able to, I haven't even read up as much on the spine, because it's just so obvious. And, it's just so, there's no one who's really questioning that. So there's no belief systems that needs to be shifted in around people understanding the importance of the spine. What I do think that people don't know is that it's like the supernatural aspect, because we are beyond the physical, we know that, but it's difficult to access naturally. And that is because the spine is stagnant. So the deeper we can move the energetics, the more open the spine is, it is absolutely self-explanatory that we understand that it's going to function better. It's just, there's just no argue about that, which is very refreshing in this field of work, as you might understand. Oh, now it feels like I'm just rambling. So this is the behind the scenes. Thank you for reminding myself why I'm doing this. This is for me. This is not for you. This is for me. So the practices will be where I guide you and I support you, and I do this for myself. And I'm also going to weave in the next level of teachings. So we'll see if I do this more than once, but it could be something that I do repeatedly, take people through this process, because it's very beneficial. And then these behind the scenes is for myself. This is for my processing. This is to relieve the I need someone to talk to. I need unregulated, uncensored space with no one in front of me being bored, or it's like, and I can't just speak out into nothing. So this is my medium. This is my podcast. This is how I share my findings. So alongside with these 108 days, this behind the scenes concept will be available for me to pour out. It's like I need to process. And the practice sessions is to help the body process. And that is one of the key foundations that me and Simba are identifying after almost a decade of working enormously deep with people. It's the number one thing that we offer when we invite people here. It's the ability for the body to process. And without that, there is no growth. There is only stress. So we as a society are nowadays celebrating and we're like honoring the stress. We're like, oh, I'm so busy. And it's like we're worshiping the thing that actually destroys us, which, makes this whole society a very interesting concept at the moment. And there's a lot of illusions to see through. You can just say that. And my take on this is not to criticize society, because then I would be contradicting my own teachings, as this planet is the planet of contradiction. It's the planet of contrast, and it's the planet of dynamics and chaos. So there's just different levels of chaos. And right now there's a lot of chaos, but that's necessary because we're walking into a massive timeline of positivity and evolution. And because this planet grows from stress, that means there's going to be a lot of positive evolution coming from this chaos. So we just got to get through this, and it's a training ground for a lot of people, and it's also a ground of suffering that is enormously high, and that is starting to be on a quite disturbing level. So it's difficult to access the processing, and that's how it works. So this whole discussion of the digestive fire and that's the processing. So what the Ayurvedics and the Chinese, the traditional Chinese doctors, and these discussions of the multi-leveled ability to digest life. It's the ability to handle stress. Being alive is stressful. That's just point. It's just about how much stress can you handle, and that's directly connected to your ability to process. that's why we have to go deep into the body and we have to silence everything, because we have to create a state inside where the body is allowed to process again. So that's how it works when you get triggered by this process. That means that you will increase your ability to process, and then you will access things that you need to process. But you could also call that triggering, because how it comes to the surface is by the world showing us, mirroring ourselves back to us. So if Carl is annoying me, that is life, God using Carl to show me what I need to work on. But most people instead say, hey, Carl, stop doing that because I get triggered. So this is super interesting. The world is so traumatized that we are trying to control others so that we don't get triggered. You know what that behavior is? That's narcissism. So we have a collective, that's why you're seeing so many narcissists everywhere. So on a collective layer, we are trying to control our circumstances to the point where we don't get triggered, to the point where we don't want to access the processing that is needed for the body to heal. So what Simba and I've basically been doing over these 9 years is tremendous amounts of processing. And we found a way to help the body to increase its own level of processing on a multidimensional level. And creating an environment where that processing can happen, and engaging all levels of the system, that is where we need to begin. So where the first 108 days ended into the silence, that's where we are going to begin. I didn't know where this was going, and I can see now where this was going. I'm happy I trusted my own instincts when I kind of lost my track. So I'm going to start doing that as so I've been looking at that in the wrong way. I've been looking at that as I lost my train of thought. I did a mistake. I did something wrong. I should be able to remember and keep track. That was where I was. That was my belief system when I walked into this session. After my own little transmission there, I'm realizing that I could also see it as, okay, you're done talking about that, next. I mean, could that be true? Yes. That's very interesting. I think it's God's way of just like, okay, stop talking about that. Let's do this now. Okay, done. So the one option is that I'm doing bad. I need to do, something's wrong. I should be doing this or this or that. Or the other option is it's supposed to be that way. It's only a segue. It's yeah. What feels more open? What feels more aligned? What feels most fun? What feels most loving, supporting? Yeah. And now my whole body started like this. So something adjusted inside of me, because my energy, I felt like I was in an elevator. So that I can feel a belief system, something shifted. And I'm having so much of these things right now. So something interesting is, I always say that, but I don't know how others to say it. I mean, it's a lifelong journey of cool things, right? So okay, so this feels satisfying. This feels rewarding. This feels fun. starting to feel a bit nauseous, so there's definitely something releasing. Yes, okay. The first session will be on the topic of intention, and I will most likely talk about my own intention. Maybe because now I'm talking about my own intentions, so we'll see if that is emptied out for the first session. But my intention is to go very deep inside of myself. I know that I'm onto something here, and I know that something extraordinary is going to happen when we do this. Oh, everything just... That's why it's been so difficult for me to get started with this, because it's going to be a big thing for me, because I am going to access the stomach. I'm here to open up my body, and my stomach has been the area where I think that's where I store most of my gunk, my stuff. I think that there's a lot of, might be some heavy metals left. It feels like my body has waited for the deepest levels of toxins to when I am the strongest and have the least other stuff. Like when I'm the strongest. That's how it feels. Because there's also a level of holding space for myself that I will have to have access to go to the depths. But I'm there now, and it's time to really start to move the energy in the stomach. So we're going to move energy along the spine, and we're going to move energy along or in the stomach for 108 days. And we will begin from the base up, or the ground up. And that's why we begin with the silence. So we're going to begin with deep levels of observation, and it's going to be rooted in the intention. So that's how this is going to work. Finally, things are starting to, become clear. It's like I haven't been able to see any of this until just very recent, and it's falling into place. So, I start to feel free again. And we're going to work a lot with the eyes and the ears, and a lot with the face, because this whole thing, the pressure in here needs to calm down. So there's a strong intention for transformation for this second round of 108 days. And so it's going to begin still and seated, and we're going to work our way up. So it's going to be a very slow and steady process, because I work sustainable. It's like, we're doing this properly. No other way. So it needs to begin stable, because if we're going to take off, I really need you to be able to connect with your body, and we're going to activate we're going to withdraw the attention from the external world into the internal world. Because if you don't have that, you don't, it's like going to the wilderness. I was saying going to Mars, but I don't know what to bring to Mars. So I felt, let's go stay local. So let's stay jungle, local. You need your water, you need your food, you need your stuff, you need your lights, you need your fire, you need your tent, you need your knife, you need your stuff, you need your equipment. So if we're gonna go adventuring, We need to make sure that you have everything. So by withdrawing the attention from the external world, so the eyes are just not what you think it is, and what's connected to your ability to hear. Yeah, it's the body is way cooler than we learn in school. It's like if the potential is X-Men, so instead we could learn X-Men in school, that's what we are. Instead it's like we're these you know, just drawings with one. It's like we're one dimensional. That's what we are taught. So if we're going to explore a multidimensional being, we have to establish some sort of ground level, and that's done in the silence. So we're going into a journey into the unknown. That's where we're going. That's where everything you want is available, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna, yeah, I guess I have to explain what I mean. And that's where the teachings are for. So the practices are going to be about 20 minutes. So it's going to be a practice, and then there's going to be a topic. Together with each practice, there's a topic. And then I explore that, and we go deeper into that, and I open up. So we move and we explore and expand. And because we are working in the speed and the way that we are doing, we are actually integrating as we go along. That's the real kicker. Because embodiment, this whole thing is nothing without, it's just, and that's why I said I'm here to establish a state that is permanent. And it's not, I'm not installing a state, I am returning to a state. So it's like wiggle in to my own being, like, no, that's not mine, that's not mine, squatter, no. Okay, everyone, let's go. That's what we're doing. So yeah, to do that, you have to first sit in the cockpit and look around and start to observe. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy about this. Okay, so 108 days of internal alchemy, starting soon. Could be tomorrow, but I'm not going to promise anything, because once we go, we go. So I'm going to take my time here and really feel like, okay, I'm ready. And that's one of the things that I'm doing now. I'm not people pleasing at all. There's none of that, because if you people please, you are directly walking astray from your purpose and God and your self and everything. So 108 days of practice. And that's going to be challenging for me, because there's a belief system in me saying I can never have the creativity come up with 108 practices, not in 108 days a row. So for me, that's a huge capacity stretch, which really stresses me out. So I said that. And then there will be these behind the scenes where I can process, where I have somewhere to process, and where I can go deeper into different topics and teachings if I want to. And I think it will be pretty interesting, because the practices I want to keep as professional as possible and leave as much as my own process. I can have my own ideas and my intention and such, but not mix my personal process. So I'm entangling from myself here. So this will be my therapeutic room. But I'm also going to share much more on social media. I'm stepping out more. I want to be more visible. I want to expand my capacity to be more visible. So I want to share more and post more. So that's my commitment to myself, that I'm going to do that. And yeah, it's just going to be more content to share, more of my personal story, my personal. I can ask, reply to questions in this format. And where we will be gathered will be in a Telegram group. So the teachings are free, the behind the scenes are free. It's all going to be here on my YouTube channel. And then if you want to be in a little bit closer proximity with me, ask questions, have conversations, I will drop, when I know when I'm going to go live, I'm going to drop that into the Telegram first, so that if you want to join live, you can. And there's going to be special offers in there. There's going to be a special world in there. And I will be replying to questions and such. So if you want to sign up for that, that's the link below. What else do I want to say? Yeah, I'm going to follow myself. I'm jumping completely out into the unknown. So it's about my capacity to handle the unknown. That's the, when you dive deeper into anything about success and money and health and, I mean, stress, personal growth, I mean, it's just all about your ability to handle the unknown. That's basically it. It's all about the level of stress and your ability to process it in real time. So, yeah. Now someone switched off. Bloop. Join me in the Telegram group. This is going to be extraordinary. But you don't have to. This is completely on your own. Do this exactly as you want. I suggest you do everything in order. But I mean, there's no laws, there's no punishments connected to not following that. So, but that's just what I would do. That's it. I will be offering, yeah, that's also one thing. I will open up a lot of offers also to work with me. So there's an ability to just do the practices and join behind the scenes without accessing anywhere, just being here on YouTube. And then you can join into the Telegram group for more access. And I'm also going to open up plenty of different spaces where you can work with me to go deeper into the process. So I am making myself available for my life purpose, for my life journey. And I'm very excited about having you here. Please ask questions. It's an extraordinary journey. And the ones who are called are going to have an amazing time. And we're going to really explore what's possible together. So whoever is called is called. The drum is drumming, and it's time to go. Follow me on Instagram, Sara Marie Spirit. Add me on Facebook, Sara Marie. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And come into the Telegram group and join me on any of my adventures on the different products and rooms and spaces that is going to open up during these 108 days. That's it. Thank you for today. It feels good to be back. And let me know what you think. Let me hear you say yes in the Telegram group. If you're with me, let me know. That's what I'm trying to say. in a very weird. Yeah, so I'm going to be better at offering my offers, speaking my truth. If you're with me, let me know. If this is working, let me know. I'm here, I'm doing it. We're flying next to each other. Let's just do the damn thing. Love you, see you, and let's go.